Hi, today's good person to know is Rachelle Headland. She's Managing Director for Saatchi Saatchi X, and her talk is on marketing tips for startup businesses. Rachelle says we're living in a world that's totally retail. We can buy anything, anywhere, at any time, and so we need to understand shopper behaviour and understand how people are buying your products, because that's going to be the first experience they have of you and your business. So when building a brand, you need to think about the shopper experience. Whereas before, you could buy a product simply because it was a fantastic product and you had excellent customer service. Now that's no longer the case. It's all about the experience. It's about the emotional and physical drivers that entice shoppers towards a particular product and service. Rachelle gives some key tips as to what all startups and businesses should be doing from a marketing perspective. 1, understand your audience. Write down 3 key messages in order to sell to that audience. 2, build a brand and think about the emotional drivers. Love and respect it, and share why it's important to you, because it's most likely going to be important to your customers too. And Rachelle says don't overcomplicate it. 3, make your brand easy to find, and says think about the shopper cycle and what might get in their way and prevent them from buying your product, and then try to overcome it. 4, create your own PR. Going back to the 3 key messages, what content are you going to create? Write blogs and capture content written by other people and say why it's good, so that you can come across as an expert. And obviously social media has its part to play here too. 5, say thank you. Rachelle says Tesco was brilliant at this when they created their customer loyalty scheme and rewarded their shoppers by giving them discounts and offers. But it also worked in Tesco's favour too, because they could target their shoppers more effectively because they knew exactly what they were buying and how much they were spending. 6, keep learning. Rachelle says use all the analytical tools available to see what is driving traffic to your website and continually ask for feedback. Now this video is particularly relevant for anyone who's starting a business and not familiar with how to do marketing, or for those people who know how to do marketing but just think that, you know, they're in a time lap and they've got too many other things going on. These simple tools and tips will really help you get that one step closer to reaching your objective. So I hope you enjoy this video, and thank you for watching.
Tips with regards to marketing for start-up businesses. I know that a lot of you will be the financial director, the managing director and the marketing director for your business, but marketing can often be left to last, and actually it's second only to finance in terms of its importance in the success of your business. Saatchi X is part of Saatchi Saatchi, but it specialises in shopper. Now we're living in a world that is totally retail at the moment, as we all know. You can buy anything from anywhere at any time. So understanding of shoppers and shopping behaviour is actually pretty important. And understanding how people are finding and buying products is probably the first step. And actually buying your products is probably the first experience people will have of you. People are moving between this without thinking. You'll know this from being shoppers yourselves. So people don't think about what channel they're in, they don't think about whether they're buying online or searching online and then going to store and trying out the product, they just do it. And it's important that you understand this in the way that you approach marketing from a holistic point of view. We talk about building brands through the shopping experience as much as we do through building awareness and belief in a brand. Now in the world we live in today, it really is not enough just to think about product quality and quality of service. Expectations have gone way beyond that. When it comes to food, 75% of the emotional drivers of that purchase are emotional. People tend to buy emotionally and then rationalise the decision afterwards and reassure themselves they've actually made the right choice. So what can startups do right from the outset? Understand your audience. And this involves, you know, what they do in their social time and their leisure time, how they run their lives, what are their challenges, what do they do with their friends, what sort of hobbies do they have. And I really recommend doing this, writing all this down, not just thinking about it, writing it down, taking pictures of Google, having a wall with your target audience, what their lives look like in an image fashion. And then when you've got that, write underneath the 3 key messages you want to communicate to that audience in order to sell your products. You've got to remember to switch from features to benefits, because it's the benefits that have to go up front and centre in your marketing messages. The detail of how you deliver that can come after. And put that up there is to show also how you build brand love. Now there's no purple here, there's no chocolate bar, there's nothing, but yet people see that image and think of the Cadbury ad. And the surprise and the delight when people saw that grill of bacon drums just went off the charts. And for every £1 they spent developing that ad, they got £5.49 back in sales. Wow. So building your brand with love and respect is really important. The reason you would have started this business, there's a reason you're passionate about it, why you believed that you should be producing it, and that is probably more powerful than you think. We did some research with Asda that said that 71% of mums trusted a brand more if they felt they shared an agenda with them. If they felt they had the same aspirations and ambitions that they do and cared about the same things they do. The other thing that's very important is a single-minded proposition. Don't overcomplicate your packaging, don't overcomplicate your website. Certainly think about what is going to become iconic about your brand from the outset. People shop visually, they don't read stuff. No big essays. It's the biggest put-off if you're launching an e-commerce site. If you're launching a new product, you feel you have to invest huge amounts of money to drive people to your store or to drive people to your website. And actually the world has changed, so actually you don't need to rely on that. This is a very simple tool that I recommend you go through in terms of when you're looking at how people would buy your product. It's a very archetypal tool, which is I plan, I buy, I evaluate. So as you're going through this process, think about what get in your way. What will be the barriers that send people off in another direction and how you overcome those. You don't need a lot of money to do this. Every business was a start-up at some point. A lot of people are fighting, it's got the David and Goliath relationship. The beauty you have is your agility, the fact that you can set yourself up from day one. Go back to those 3 key marketing messages you want to get out there. What is the content you're going to create around that? So we generate a blog to talk about our expertise. We capture content that is generated by other people and we say why we think that is good to come across as experts. And that's the trick. By associating yourself with these and giving a point of view over the top, you come across as an expert in your field. Blog is a very good way of talking about your products, getting people to interact with you and give feedback, and it also feeds your website and drives traffic to your website. Showing that your website is live and being refreshed with live content is a good thing to do. Social networks and communities all have different agendas and different roles to play. So you need to understand what they're there for, and they all need to work together to drive people to your products. There's 43 million people with a Tesco Club card worldwide, and the reason it was so successful is not simply points get me prizes. It was the fact that Tesco bothered to say thank you and show that they cared about the people that were spending money with them. So they recognised not just how much you were spending, but what you were spending it on, sending you targeted offers based on what you spent previously, so you felt they were relevant, you felt they were taking notice. It's amazing how powerful that is. Now, you're on the scale of Tesco, but you can certainly recognise you're spending it for. Send them VIP cards for special discounts coming up to Christmas, wrap things up, give gift tags, put personalised messages on it. All these things really matter. Marketing is a continual cycle of learning. What are people doing? What have I got right? What do I need to adjust? How do I apply that to the next piece of activity? Make sure that you're using all the social tools that are available, such as Google Analytics, Facebook and LinkedIn, and all those have got analytical tools that you can use to see what's driving traffic to your websites or to your stores particularly. Also, continually get feedback from your customers, review that, learn from it, listen to what people are saying about your brands online and apply that to the way you're doing business on an ongoing basis. It's very important. This is why I have to allow a certain amount of your day, every day, to